This, the LiUNA and bonus F1 betting picks edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi. Promo code SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez. And today we turn our attention to the OReilly Auto Parts Series, who will be on the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, rolling the dice in the... Cody, I did not give this race enough attention and to the name when I introduced it. So let me get this right. It's the LiUNA, right? I got to give it the accent because if it doesn't get there, then I'm wrong.
That's right. Absolutely. I love it. You nailed it as you usually do. True. You're a true pro, Rod. I just want to start out the show by saying we love YouTube and our YouTube overlords. Hopefully that'll help us not get the show pulled off today. But here we are.
And that, we all hail the overlords of YouTube.
Make sure we hit all the keywords they like early in the show, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, kudos to you, though, for being quick on the trigger yesterday to bring us back online when you realized we were off, because I guarantee you right now, me and my oblivious state had no clue we had been pulled off the air. I was literally going through the motions, and for the people listening on the podcast, you have no clue what we're talking about. But we did lose our YouTube, half of our YouTube. Well, okay, maybe a third of our YouTube yesterday.
We were 15, 20 minutes in or so. But so if you are a YouTube watcher and you're like, what the hell from yesterday's show, it just kind of starts in the middle of Rod talking. You'll have to go over to the podcast and check it out, because for whatever reason, sometimes things get flagged on YouTube and got taken down, but the rest of it's up there and we finished the show strong. So is what it is. Hopefully we won't have any more issues today.
Yeah, and so also, too, remember, we do stream on Facebook. We do stream on X. So if you do lose that YouTube, you can always find the full video on Facebook and on X as well. Yeah. Hello to Tyler. What is it? Tyler Oldham, 6087. Evening,
Tyler.
gentlemen. Evening,
Good to
Tyler.
see you. Evening. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
We do. We certainly appreciate it. Also, let me tell you real quick before we get moving on this Las Vegas O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, because again, we also got some F1 bets that we want to toss into you, as well as we're in a second week of there. But March is underway and it is here, and SGPN is giving away $25,000 in Survivor Madness. This winner take all, one person is going to take home $25,000 in guaranteed money. You want in on this? Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/survivor. Just like everything else in the SGPN world, completely free to enter to walk away with $25,000.
It's a hell of a price, especially in today's day and age, Rod. Free is, you don't know.
I was listening today to the radio, as I tend to do, and talk radio as I even tend to do to myself worse. And they're talking about billionaires clubs, right? Now there's 3,000 some odd people in the billionaires club. And I was like, yeah, I'm in the thousandaires club and I'm feeling pretty lucky about that.
You're in a more elite club than I'm in, Rod.
The 50 cent
club?
Like
is there has $3.68 in the checking account club? Because that's the one I'm in.
About to say, give me 20 minutes. I could be in that club with you. We're all
after
good there.
This weekend, of course, when we hit all these bets, because
no,
that's when the accounts flush, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, well, Cody, as we start to break down this weekend in Las Vegas, any major news out there that we're tracking?
Man, knock on wood, because don't want to jinx anything. Very, very quiet week news wise. There is not much. We talked yesterday, obviously, O'Reilly Series champion from a couple of years ago. Justin Allgaier is going to be filling in the 48 car for Alex Bowman, who continues to be out with vertigo issues there. So we talked about that yesterday. So he'll be pulling double duty along with this wonderful entry list we have of guys that are going to be doing double duty this weekend. But yeah, it's been a very quiet week. There's not really been much for news. Squirrel McNutt is going to be running ARCA races. If you're interested in that, he's a Cletus McFarland. Can you imagine if the San Francisco 49ers just let a guy come play on the team because he was famous on YouTube? That would be quite the thing. But ARCA Series is the proper place for that, so that's fine. As long as you're starting down there, that's great. Squirrel McNutt, though, that's a hell of a name.
So listen, if we are trying to line up sponsorships, I want to be first in line to sponsor the Squirrel McNutt car, because I guarantee you right now that is, well, first of all, squirrels are my favorite animal, which you guys don't care to know that, but
I love squirrels.
Yeah, me too, right? A lot of people don't, but I do.
In fact, I know about you.
See, I'm a squirrel guy, and who doesn't love a good McNugget, right? Oh, McNutt? I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Who doesn't love that too? I don't know.
We have already gone off the rails, and we're not 5 minutes into this episode already. All right, let's get back on track, Cody, as we start to talk about this O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race in Las Vegas. It is the LiUNA, which I found out was an organization, and I had to do a little digging on that one because I was like, wait, what is that? But it's a union for folks. So
more than I knew.
The more you know. We are set for 200 laps around the 1.500 mile paved track for 300 even miles of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway in beautiful, sparkling, and can take all your money in an instant, Las Vegas, Nevada. Cody, like you said earlier, this is a packed house.
Yeah, this entry list is pretty crazy. I'm very excited for this. You get that small group of people out there. Oh, we don't want the Cup guys coming down, but this is going to be such an exciting race with these guys in particular that are coming down to this. So 41 entries for 38 spots. That means 3 drivers will go home. Likely it won't be these drivers, Rod. Cole Custer is going to be back. He's a series champion from just a couple of years ago. He'll be driving the 0 car. Now it is for SS Greenlight, but he's previously run for SS Greenlight, and it was always a Haas prepared car. I don't see any way he's getting in that car unless it's Haas prepared. So I would treat that as another Haas Chevrolet, of course, because they are back on the Chevy side of things now. Some guy named Connor Zillich, I've heard he's been all right in the O'Reilly Xfinity Series before. He's going to be jumping in the 1 car. So once again, Carson Kvapil shifted out of the 1 car this week as he continues to do his dance around the garage. Now, he is not going to be in the 91 car this week, which is what he was in last time. He is moving over to the 9 car for JRM. So he's still in a JRM car, but instead of being the 1 car, he's in the 9 car. So again, musical chairs. That's where we're at for that. In the number 5 car, Chandler Smith running again for Hettinger Motors Racing over there. He'll be back in the 5 car. Chase Briscoe is filling in the 19 car. Brent Cruz, again, not old enough to run this week at Las Vegas or next week at Darlington. After that, he'll be back for the full season. So he's sitting on the sideline once again, and Chase Briscoe's jumping in this car. Obviously, we know a lot about him this day and age, so that's pretty awesome to see. Daniel Dye is coming back up from the Truck Series once again. He'll be in the 52 car for AM Racing. And then some guy named Kyle Larson. He is going to be jumping in the 88 car for Junior Motorsports, which means, again, not in the 88 car is Rajah Caruth. So Rajah Caruth jumping back into the 32 car for Jordan Anderson, which is what we saw him run. That was last week, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, at Phoenix. So, and he had a decent run going. Didn't necessarily turn out in the end great, but he will be there. So, again, kind of that musical chairs. Kvapil still in JRM car over in the 9, and Rajah in the 32 for Jordan Anderson once again this week.
It's like a worst shell game in the world, right? These guys are just moving around. It's like, all right, guys. It's like the guy in New York where he's trying to show you the queen, and then he like jits it around. He's like, all right, where's Kvapil? Where's Kvapil this week? Right. Oh, nope, he's not in the 1. And you're like, oh man,
yeah. Well, and then and it's certainly it has to do with sponsorship. I would imagine that the Roto-Rooter is on the 1 car. They want the 1 car. They want Connor Zilich, so that's why you move Kvapil out, because otherwise, why wouldn't you just put Zilich in the 9 car, right? But if they want it to be the 1 car, whatever, that's fine. So I'm sure that's why that's the deal with that. As far as, that goes even, and the 88 deal goes as well, having these Cup guys, even Zilich, he's obviously the experience he had last year in Xfinity at the time, and Larson jumping in this car. We saw how good that 88 car was after Zilich missed time last year, and Larson got in and won in it. So yeah, it's not the worst thing for those guys to have these experienced guys like a Kyle Larson and even a Connor Zilich in those cars, shaking things out and making the tweaks they need to have better runs throughout the season.
Spoiler alert, as I glance over our betting card here, there is a name that is absent on this card for all of us, and that is Kyle Larson. And we'll talk about why he's absent from our card in a little bit. But yeah, if you're rushing here to get your Kyle Larson fix in the O'Reilly Auto Parts series, you have to get it.
I have an off the books bet. I mean, it's on the books, but it's not on these books. Bet that I will be giving out for him when we get to that area, Rod. So stay tuned. Little teaser for later. Stay tuned for the off the book bet that's on the books.
Well, Cody, get us a nice little lead in to the fact that we will set up our betting cards here in just a second. But before we do, safely want to tell you about Kalshi. Kalshi is a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. Kalshi's got a ton of trading options for all of your favorite sports, and Kalshi now has combos. Again, it's not the snack for those of you who are looking for those pizza combos. Believe me, I know I'm hungry. I want them too. Combine 2 or more predictions to increase your payouts with Kalshi. Trade on absolutely anything. And if you don't believe me, well, that's because you don't care. But Survivor 50 is going on right now. In fact, they're airing the episode tonight. And if you truly believe that Colby can get this done, the old man Colby, he is trading at 1 cent for the yes right now. So we're going to give you $20 free, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But if you put that $20 in on Colby to win the whole damn thing, he's going to win you $2,000 in return. So how do you get that $20? Well, if you're a new Kalshi customer, sign up, get that $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. How about Underdog? Underdog's got you covered for pick'em in almost every single sport out there too. Underdog has just increased their payouts. 2 pick'em entries now pay 3.5x, and 3 pick entries now pay 6.5x. There are so many good things out there right now on the Underdog. F1 is now on Underdog for this Chinese Grand Prix. I'm looking at the beautiful face of Kimi Antonelli. They are giving me a podium finish for him. The finishing projection is 3.5. Go ahead and give me the better than. Let's get Kimi back on the podium for a second week in a row. Let's make my younger daughter happy to see Kimi up there. All right, if you're a brand new customer to Underdog, we got a deal for you. Play just $5 and get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE, SGPN. I don't know that I'm alone in wanting to see Kimi Antonelli on the podium. That kid, it amazes me, right? First and foremost, that he had to go to school. Like, didn't he go back to high school after one of his first Grand Prix wins, like his sprint win or something? And he had to go back to high school. That just blows my mind.
Yeah. That's it's crazy how young. You know, I was catching up. Apparently, I didn't watch last season of the Netflix show Drive to Survive. Yeah. So when I realized there was a new season, I'm like, oh, great. And then I was like, wait a minute, I didn't watch it. So I was watching back through some stuff. And yeah, you saw like it was part of him getting picked to be the guy to replace Lewis and all this, and like just how young, like you think of those F1 guys and the things they do and how they handle those cars, and then you're like, dude's 18 and he's getting Lewis Hamilton's car to go out there and be trusted. And now you saw like what, second place last week, been performing well on one of, the team that looks like it's the fastest team to start the season. Yeah, it's insane to see how good these guys are at such a young age.
Hey, and don't worry, because we've got F1 picks coming up for you at the end of this show after we give you our O'Reilly Auto Parts Series picks for Las Vegas. So, hey, Kimmy will come into play in this one. All right, Cody. Well, the field is packed. The stage is set. All that's left now is to start filling this betting card, which you have done generously.
I have done generously, Rob. So let's start head as I usually do. Let's start with a head-to-head that I really like. I'm going to take Cole Custer over Carson Kvapil, -120 over on DraftKings. Now, we just talked about both of these guys. Kvapil not with his normal team in the 1 car. He'll be in the 9 car, so yes, it's still a JRM car. Still going to be fast. We know those cars are fast, but it is an extra team. And same thing, case can be made against Custer, right? Is yes, he's going to be on the SS Greenlight team. We think that it should be a Haas-prepared car. So both of them going to have less of a pit crew, things like that. So, it kind of equals out when it comes to that. But Carson Kvapil, we saw the performance last week at Phoenix. Wow, he was really good. He looked fast. Late model guy, comes from the short flat track stuff. Well, what did he do for us last year on 1.5-mile tracks, Rod? He started the year with the 17th place at Vegas. They went to Texas and he finished 19th. Charlotte, he finished 17th. Indianapolis, a little bit of a different track, but still a big, wide sweeping track, 30th. Kansas, 15th. And Vegas, 15th. So all 6 of those traditional 1.5 and Indy thrown in there, not a single finish better than 15th place. It's not very good, right? It's okay. Some decent runs, rookie guy, I get it. You expect that to be a little better. He's got Rodney Childers there. Started the season off looking pretty good. We'll see where it goes, but the 1.5-mile track record is not there, so I'm going to fade that because Cole Custer, when he was full-time just a couple of years ago in the series, 2024 or 2023, I believe it was, he won the championship there. But last time he raced here at Las Vegas in 2024, he raced both races, second place in one race and 8th place in the other race. So both really strong, good runs. The last time he was at Kansas, second place finish there, the sister track to this. The last time he was at Indy, second place finish there. The last time he was at Texas, 5th place finish there. Fall of 2023, so the time before his 8th and 2nd place finish, a 3rd place finish. Cole Custer, he kind of goes overlooked, and it's like, oh, it's Cole Custer. You think of him on Sundays, he's not that good, kind of hangs out back. In the O'Reilly series or Xfinity series at the time, lights out. Dude was great. He's fast everywhere, always competitive. He was always that guy. We didn't bet on him a lot because he was always one of the favorites, but it was hard to find the way to bet. But he was always going to be there in the mix. Why is that going to change all of a sudden now? It's an SS Greenlight car, yeah, fine, but it's going to be prepped by Haas. I haven't seen anything on that, but I'm almost certain of it. And I trust Cole Custer. I still don't trust Carson Kvapil, and he's not shown us anything on 1.5-mile tracks to say that he's going to be good here. So even though it's -120, love the Custer side of this. Another over Kvapil head-to-head out there that I really like, Rod. We'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. And then Chase Briscoe, you can get him top 5, even money. This is what I love about a guy like Kyle Larson coming down to the O'Reilly series, because they see Kyle Larson and they just lose their mind. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? He drove this car at Texas last year. He's gonna win. It's crazy. Okay, he's +125 to win. Everybody else gets good odds. Okay, fine. Let Larson go win the race. I don't care. All Chase Briscoe has to do is finish off. Wow, well, Connor Zilic is in this race. Oh well, what about Justin Allgaier? He's always fast. Okay, so there's 3 spots. Even Cole Custer's in this, but 5 spots. Chase Briscoe can't finish in the top 5. One of the better Cup Series drivers we have. I know how rough of a start it's been to the season, but now you're putting him in an extremely fast JGR car. Let me remind you of the last time we saw Chase Briscoe in the O'Reilly series, then the Xfinity series, and the 98 car for Haas. Not as good of cars as JGR is. Last start here in the fall of 2020, 164 or 200 laps he led, won both stages, won the race. The start before that in the spring of 2020, led 89 laps, won a stage, third in the other stage, won the race. Last start at Kansas, the sister track to this, won the race. I know Connor Zilic had that impressive year last year, won all those races. Last time Chase Briscoe was full-time in 2020, he won 9 races in a Haas car. Chase Briscoe is fucking good in this series, and now you're putting him in even better equipment, and he's a much better driver now than he was 6 years ago in 2020. All of those things, and all he has to do is finish top 5 for even money. Couldn't get in on him in the Cup race, just wasn't a way to do it. This is the way to do it. This is a great spot. Great get-right spot for both Larson and Briscoe in this race. Larson's on a 27 race. I said 23 yesterday. It's actually 27. 27 race winless streak. And Briscoe needs some help. This is a great spot for these guys. So Briscoe even money for a top 5 on Bet365. That's an insane number.
That's a hammer. We don't get models for or anybody that does research deep enough for our O'Reilly series to actually get into the weeds of this. But I got to think fair market value for this is like minus 130 or something. And if you're getting it at even money, you said, Cody, I mean, look at all these guys withstanding, like Chase Briscoe should be in the top 5. That's not a high bar to clear.
One, if you took Larson and Zilic out of this race, and for maybe Allgaier is still the favorite because they have Briscoe listed farther down, but if Larson and Zilic aren't in this race, you're going to be thinking, wow, Briscoe in the 19 car, like this should be his race, right? Well, fine, let those guys finish 1-2, which the chances of that even happening probably a little less, but like top 5 is just, it's crazy. It's not even top 3. It's top 5. That's all he has to do is be top 5. I love this bet.
Hey, and he doesn't even have to change his number either. He's still the 19. He slides from 119 to the next 19.
Look at that.
That's like, that's like slipping into something that you've already been in already. So you got to love it.
Hell yeah.
All right. I love both of these. I'm going to pile on. We did not mean to do this, and I don't know how it happened, but didn't mean to pile on Carson Kvapil. So I'm going to
meant to do it because if you didn't have this, I was actually saw this head to head. I'm like, oh yeah, I go to the dock. Rod already took it. So I found the other one, but I would have played both of these because I really like it.
Yeah. This one, it's with a heavy heart that I pronounce that I will take Sheldon Creed, my favorite Canadian that's not an actual Canadian, that's actually from California, over my favorite JRM driver that is not my favorite JRM driver, but one of my favorite JRM drivers, and Carson Kvapil. You can get this at minus 115 over on Caesars. Cody just told you exactly why Carson Kvapil is the one to fade on this one. And for Sheldon Creed, in this instance, it's not as if Sheldon Creed is absolutely banging the doors down in Las Vegas. I mean, his career average finish here is 15.5. And over the last couple of seasons, he's had an 11th place finish and a 10th place finish in the 00, and then a 9th place and 26th in the season before that in the 18, and then several 2s, 7th place finish in the 2, 37th, 9th, 15th. Again, these aren't championship winning numbers. These aren't even Sheldon Creed like numbers on most tracks, right? So Las Vegas, not his strongest mile and a half. However, with everything that Cody just laid out against Carson Kvapil, and the fact that now, look, I get it. He's in the 9, which makes it a little better than the 91, but it doesn't make it better than, I don't know. It's such a guessing game. The only thing is that in this instance, yes, Carson Kvapil will likely be a top 10 car, but with Sheldon Creed, hey, we busted it wide open now. Sheldon Creed won a race. So that means all bets are completely off for Sheldon Creed. He's going to
proven winner, Rod.
Proven winner after all of those,
winner, Sheldon Creed.
all those second place finishes that Sheldon Creed has endured over the course of his career. He is now a proven winner. And not to mention that, listen, he's actually had a decent finish last week at Phoenix too. He finished 4th after starting 16th. So you overlook Sheldon Creed a lot like you overlook Cole Custer, and that Cole Custer, the reason that he gets overlooked is he's not flashy, right? He's just this guy that shows up, he drives, he wins, he does everything you ask him to do, but he doesn't do it with the pizzazz that some of the Hurricanes do, or the Young Moneys do, or the Ty Gibbs do. Like, he's not like that. He just does his job, and he does it well. So Sheldon Creed, a little of the same thing, right? I mean, he doesn't get out of his car and cause a whole lot of controversy. He just gets out of his car and
puppy dog eyes, though.
I was about to say, he just gets out of the car and goes, damn it, I wish I'd have won. But yeah, so no, really, honestly, this is probably going to be close. This isn't going to be where Sheldon Creed's going to beat Kvapil by 20 positions, but at the very least, I think Sheldon Creed may be a top 6 car, whereas Carson Kvapil's floor or ceiling probably is 10th place or right around that.
I don't know that this is going to be that close. Like I didn't include Creed on here for a top 5. I'm not that confident in him, but I think he'll have a solid top 10 day. I do have another bet on him with a kind of a ceiling case we'll talk about in a few, but I think he's going to have a solid day. And I think Kvapil is going to be 15th to 20th, and maybe he can improve a little bit. Oh yeah, by the way, I mentioned Rodney Childers earlier. Not his crew chief this week because he's not even on the one car, so he doesn't even have that bonus of it. So, yeah, I kind of like this fade of Kvapil. There's just, and eventually Kvapil's going to figure it out. He's a talented race car driver, and he's going to beat us on this. But so far, we've not seen anything results-wise on these 1.5 miles to say he's a guy you should bet on. And he's getting respect because of how he's run the last couple of weeks. Great, good for him. But until we see it, I think we have to fade it.
And I don't feel good about it because I did suggest and cash a couple of Kvapil bets early in the season anyway. So it's not as if I'm hating on Kvapil. You got to pick your spots, and this is the spot that we pick. So, yeah. All right, top 5 finishes, Cody. You're shooting them like a shotgun.
That's right. Yeah. So the Briscoe one, obviously, even money. That's kind of the quote unquote safer play. That's the one I like. But as always, there's always good, plus money stuff in the O'Reilly series that you can get top 5s on. Take some flyers on guys. All 3 of these guys I expect to be fast, have good cars. They're not reliable. Yes, they're going to be top 5, but they have the upside of a top 5. That's what I'm looking for. It starts with Taylor Gray, 4-1, a guy that you kind of just pencil in here always anyways. He's been solid. He's so good in this car. It's a fast car. We know that. 8th place finish at Kansas, so close to that top 5. 8th place finish here in the fall. 6th place at Kansas, 1 spot outside of getting in the top 5. Words are hard. He's got the pole at Charlotte to showcase that speed at 1.5 miles. And then wrecked, so it wasn't great. But he finished 2nd place at Texas last year to Kyle Larson in the 88 car. So, yeah, Kyle Larson's in the race, but again, don't have to go win this race to cash this bet. Just be top 5. I know there's some heavy hitters, but somebody's not going to end up in there. You're going to get opportunities. Gray's a guy that's fast enough, can take advantage of it. Cole Custer, I just made the case for him. How good he's been. You can get him plus 450 for a top 5. Also on Bet365, 8th and 2nd the last time he ran here in Haas cars back in 2024. That's not that long ago, just 2 seasons ago. 2nd at Kansas in 24, 2nd at Indy in 24, 5th at Texas. That was his last full-time season in O'Reilly before he came back to the Cup Series. 3rd here in the fall of 2023. So his last 3 finishes here, 8th, 2nd, 3rd, good runs. He's a good driver. Being a little bit disrespected because the field's so loaded, but don't be shocked if he's up there running with the big boys because he's good in this series. It's going to be a good car, as from everything I can tell, should be a Haas-prepared car. And then Rod, the terrorist himself, not Austin Hill, but Corey Day, top 5, 8-1. Look, this is one much like you gave out a couple of weeks ago. I don't feel good placing this bet, and it makes me nervous. But at 8-1, he's in a Hendrick 17 car that should be really, really fast. And he finished 4th place here in the fall in that car. So having already done it and having the speed we know is in that car, now does he go hurricane on us and crazy and wreck people? Maybe that's what gets him to the top 5. It's worked for him other races this year a little bit because Mr. H had a conversation with him. We'll see how it pays out. But in the end of the day, it's the Hendrick car, so it's going to be fast. We know that. It's a guy that everybody believes has a lot of talent. And while we've seen some rookie young guy mistakes that are, he's not raced a ton of pavement, he's got the talent of being a good race car driver. And he also sat on the pole in the truck race last spring as well. So shown speed, the ability to get around this track. At 8-1, I'm not running to the window to get a bunch of money down on this, but I feel like it's a bet that you could say throughout today, wow, look at Corey Day. He's got a lot of speed. He's looking good. Will he be able to finish it? That's why it's 8-1, I think. But the car's fast enough, and I think the driver is good enough. Clearly, he's done it once before to get it done. At 8-1, I think it's worth it. So Gray at 4-1, Custer at 450, and Day at 8-1. All for top 5.
I will not argue any of these actually, but Corey Day for sure, because you know that even though you never feel good about a good day, it's still going to be a good finish for him. Andrew, agreeing with you that's good value for Briscoe, top 5, even money.
it feels like a good one.
It does. Andrew's endorsing it, and we shall too.
I'll take.
Speaking of things we love Jesse Love. We've always loved Jesse Love. The guy, listen, I know that he comes in with a little pizzazz, but not too much pizzazz. He's just got pizzazz. He doesn't have pizzazz, right? He does things and he does them right, and he doesn't ruffle too many feathers until he does. But Jesse Love, top 5 for him. I can't believe this. And this is why, again, we love it when people hate it when the Cup Series. We love it when the Cup Series guys come down because it inflates these odds the way it does. Jesse Love plus 250 for a top 5 finish over on Bet365. I mean, like I said, the fair market value for this is probably through the roof. And for Jesse Love, we've watched this guy, obviously the reigning series champion, the guy who 1000% deserves to be the champion because of the way he ran last season. 3 top 5s already this season in 4 races, including 3 in a row at Atlanta, at Coda, at Phoenix. 3 different track styles, still top 5 runs, which means he is consistent wherever he goes. The Las Vegas Motor Speedway for Jesse Love has been pretty damn good for him as well. Throw out that first start in his rookie season where he got a 17th place finish in the spring. Since then, 6th place in the fall of 2024, 3rd place in the spring of 2025, and a 6th place in the fall of 2025, rather. But he led 22 laps in that race, which means he was super fast, as he always is. I mean, listen, plus 250, almost 3-1 for a guy that's finished just outside of the top 5 in both of his starts on there. I'll take that, especially he does have a top 3 finish even in that one race. How is he on other mile and a halves? Not bad either. Kansas, 9th place and 7th place in his 2 starts on the Kansas Speedway. Homestead, Miami, a 4th place and a 6th place finish there. And then Texas, 9th place and 7th place. He is consistently running in and around the top 5, always in the top 10 on these tracks, at least finishing in that instance. But yeah, I mean, all it takes is for Jesse Love to be as good as he normally is, and you're looking at a top 5 finish. That's honestly where you should just pencil in Jesse Love every single week, and maybe until the end of this season when they start catching on and start giving us minus money for Jesse Love top 5s is when you stop betting this. That also depends on how much you have to pay, how much juice you have to pay for it. But yeah, this is one I may not give it out every week, but consider this like an honorary play every single week because Jesse Love top 5 at plus 250 it's too juicy to pass up.
This feels a lot like if you go back to the beginning of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast back in 2022 when we did our first season. Every single week we got on the show, Austin Hill top 5, Austin Hill top 5, Austin Hill top 5. You gave it out every week. He was going to be in the top 5 or very close to it every week. You were getting it at a disrespected number every week. Love has turned in to what Austin Hill once was for us before Hill became a terrorist that nobody likes anymore. He was a great guy catching his bets, but that's how Love feels because he's never the big favorite. He's never, you don't think of him as the fastest car because he's not in a JGR or JRM car, but always up there, right there in the mix. We saw it last week, one of, if not the best car at Phoenix. Allgaier steals it from him late, but he's the reigning champion, still not getting the respect he deserves. So, yeah, we love Love, Rod.
We love Love. We are a couple of saps, aren't we? All right. We will continue down this betting card, but before we do, we would like to take this opportunity to tell you about our friends over at NoVig. NoVig is America's #1 sports prediction market. With NoVig, you are getting the absolute best prices out there. If you don't believe me, March Madness is right around the corner, and you can start betting on college basketball right now. Iowa State taking on Texas Tech tomorrow morning. Looks here that NoVig's got Iowa State -4.5 at -128, or maybe you like the Texas Tech side of this at +4.5. You get that at +113. Keep in mind, Iowa State ranked 7th coming into this, Texas Tech 16th. So you might want to, do you think a Cinderella is going to get there? NoVig's got a good price on that if you do. Download the NoVig app and get $50 when you spend $5. Use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with NoVig, promo code SGPN. How about Rhythm? Rhythm is your official data tool for dominating the madness of college hoops. The AI bracket generator is now open. Generate up to 3 NCAA tournament brackets backed by AI models, then unlock model back predictions for every game from the first 4 through the finals. Rhythm also works really well with Kalshi, so make sure you make that connection. Looking to go premium? Now's a great time. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm. Use promo code SGPN25. You look good in SGPN threads. You know how I know? Well, I don't, but I'm sure you do. And if you want to get some, make sure you head over to the merch store where you can take 15% off of everything right now as part of our Merch Madness promotion. And take 15% off of everything with promo code MARCH. Got to get you a nice Racing Gambling Podcast hoodie, maybe a hat, maybe a polo, maybe a coffee mug. I don't know. I'm not telling you what to buy. Just buy it. And then when you check out, use promo code MARCH for 15% off of everything you purchase.
You brought up Iowa State there, Rod. The one good thing that comes out of Iowa, my grandpa's a Cyclone alum, so I do like the Cyclones. Did you see their game today? I don't know. Did you see the final score when they played Arizona State?
I did not, in fact.
They won.
I didn't have power because the solar company was starting off.
You didn't. They won in the Big 12 tournament over Arizona State 91-42.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. They obliterated the Sun Devils. That's a hell of a score for two, power conference schools like that. That's an ass whooping, Rod. Only 4.5 tomorrow? Oh, buddy.
I was going to say,
Iowa State.
So what you're saying is take Iowa State. Yeah, that minus 128 is looking really juicy right about
now. Just won by 50-some points. They ain't worried about 4.5.
What if they gave you minus 40 at plus?
Look out for them. Look out for them alt spreads, I guess.
Or hey, there's another site that you can use that you could do that as well. We just won't say it. All right, Cody, winners of this race. I know you got a few. So what are we looking at to win this race?
Yeah, so let's start with the big one out there, right? Kyle Larson, he's plus 125. Neither of us are taking him for the outrights, as you mentioned earlier. My amendment to that would be I like him on Sunday. I've already given that out. And I think he is the guy to beat. He should be the fastest car. He is the best driver. This should be a Larson ass whooping. He leads every lap and kills everybody and wins the race. That's what should happen. I'm not confident enough to bet it at plus 125. I will say that, but you can parlay it. I tried a couple different sites. Caesars lets you parlay it. So head over there. You can parlay him to win both races. It gets you almost 11-1. It's plus 1055. That I like because I'm already in on him at what was it, plus 550 or 5-1, whatever, 6-1. I can't remember what we got for Sunday, but now you up it a little bit with the Saturday race in there, but you're not exposing yourself to the plus 125. That's how I'm going to play it. And I think, we saw him come in at Texas last year, winning this car. That's what he should do again this week. Plenty of things can go wrong, right? Nobody steps on it harder than Kyle Larson does. He can do that. Things can go wrong, whatever the case might be. And we've seen O'Reilly guys go out and beat other guys. And Chase Briscoe's not getting any respect in this race, Rod. Plus 650 on FanDuel. You got to give me some Chase Briscoe. Even though I think that it is going to be Kyle Larson winning, there's no way I'm not betting this. You're putting two extremely good Cup Series guys down into the O'Reilly Series, and you're putting them in the two fastest cars out there, one of the top JRM car probably, and the top JGR car probably, and you're saying, go at it, boys, and one of them's plus 125 and one is plus 650? Sign me up for Chase Briscoe all day. Again, won here the last time he was in this race, 164 at 200 laps. He's won here the last 2 times he has started at this track. He won the last time he was at Kansas. He won 9 races in this series that he dominated a couple of years ago. Plus 650, just way too big of a number on Briscoe. So give me a little bit on him. Then a couple of other insurance plays, long shots, because, hey, crazy shit happens. Maybe Briscoe and Larson take each other out. Zilich has a flat tire and a piano falls on Allgaier. Suddenly the field is wide open. And I'm not saying these guys can't just outduel these guys because this is their series. We've seen guys go head-to-head. This race in the Truck Series in the spring at Las Vegas a couple of years ago. Kyle Busch coming down, the GOAT of the Truck Series. Roger Carruth at 80-1. We bet that day, Rod. Goes out and beats Kyle Busch. Did he need a little bit of help with some penalties and stuff? Yes, can happen. So that being said, Taylor Gray, you can get him 26-1 over on Caesars. Already made the case earlier. Second place to Larson back at Texas. Oh my God, something happens to Larson. Boom, he's the winner there, right? Has a lot of speed. It's a good car. He's shown enough. And Sheldon Creed, proven winner. Sheldon Creed at 30-1. mile-and-a-half track record isn't always the best. Did finish second in Michigan a couple years ago. Fifth place at Kansas last year. But now he's a winner. He's had a taste of what it feels like. He's going back for more of that drug. He puts himself in position every single week. He's going to be up there in the mix. Maybe you get some late race chaos. Maybe it's a strategy call. I don't care what it takes. I want a little bit of a guy that's proven winner and puts himself in position to win races. Every single week for the last 10 years, he's been in position to win. Now he's done it. He's going to do it again. 30-1. I can't pass up on Mr. Creed.
Do you think he got himself new glasses after he finally won a race? Do you think that the paycheck was big enough to where he finally got himself new glasses?
Yeah, but why would you? If those are winning glasses, you can't change the juju. I mean, those are the lucky glasses now. You got to wear those forever.
That's true. That's true. I'm wearing lucky glasses now, and they're taped because that's so lucky that I can't.
See,
I
can't replace them because you might. And then winning car number bets all of a sudden don't start coming through. You start missing fastest pit stops, and it's like because you changed out some glasses, Rod. Use tape, fix it up, and you're good.
Bear bond. That's really what this is. It's bear bond for my glasses. That's what I'm doing. Slapping it on and getting back out there. I need to change form, put some gas in, and get back out there. All right. Listen, there is one guy in this race. Should not be plus 650 to win this race. I get it. I get the litany of
Briscoe.
series
Just talked
guys.
about it.
Exactly. I get the litany of guys that are in this. I get everybody that's taking the green flag, your Larsons and everybody else, your Briscoes, and those are all flashy and well. But I'm sure Justin Allgaier is actually older than all of them at this point, and he's still running in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series, still thriving in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Probably should have been the champion of the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series last year. However, he wasn't. But this guy has got more starts in Las Vegas in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series than most people have starts in the series at all. Justin Allgaier, 23 races at Las Vegas in the series. He does have a win, only one, which is kind of frustrating to that aspect, which is why he's plus 650. But 13 top 5 finishes. I could have stopped there, but 20 top 10 finishes for Justin Allgaier. There is just nothing that tells me that he's not going to be in contention for the win. He finally, by the way, this isn't like he won back in 1986 and hasn't won since. No, he won as recently as the spring of 2025. So he busted it open finally last spring, went on to finish third in the Las Vegas race in the fall after starting on the pole. But, like I said, an average finish here of 6.7. The dude has only got a couple of finishes outside of the top 10 in his entire career. He's going to be mixing it up. It doesn't matter if Richard Petty gets back into the car and starts racing around Las Vegas he still could probably beat Richard Petty at this age. But if the young Richard Petty jumped in and started, he could still go toe-to-toe. Justin Allgaier is not afraid of anybody. And at plus 650, he should not be priced like this to win this race.
Yeah, I don't hate this one at all. 20 of 23 top 10s. That's pretty solid. He's always in the mix. So you got to give it to him. And yeah, he just did it last spring. So hard to put any holes in that one, Rob.
Indeed. All right. So should we go over the O'Reilly series bets now and then line up F?
Let's wrap it up.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Get out your pen and paper, everybody. We're going to go over our bets for this LiUNA from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I gave you Sheldon Creed over Carson Kvapil at minus 115. I gave you Jesse Love as the top 5. Now, of course, this graphic was done back when I found it at plus 160. Cody did some digging for me and got me a plus 250 at bet 365. And the Justin Allgaier to win this is at plus 650 on the score, by the way. So if you have the score, formerly ESPN Bet, that is the best place to find that one. There are places where he's a little bit lower, but I did get this on the score. Cody started you out with Cole Custer over Carson Kvapil in our unfortunate fate of Carson Kvapil today. Minus 120. Chase Briscoe top 5 at even money. He gave you Taylor Gray as a top 5 at 4-1. Cold Custard as a top 5 plus 450. And our favorite terrorist, Corey Day, top 5 at 8-1. Outright markets for him: Chase Briscoe plus 650, Taylor Gray 26-1, and Sheldon Creed 32-1 to win the LiUNA. All right, that'll do it for the O'Reilly series. Cody, let's get set now. Hunter wants to know what car will be Briscoe.
He will be in the 19 car Brent Cruz. he's, again, 17, so he's not old enough to run the mile-and-a-half tracks. Can't race this week at Vegas. Can't race next week at Darlington. After that, he's back in the car the rest of the full season, going to run the full schedule. So in the meantime, while he's not old enough to run these, we've been filling it in the tracks he can't. He was able to run the last couple of weeks because it was a short track and a road course. But Briscoe's jumping in the 19 car. So going to be a super fast JGR car. I mean, they're always fast, especially on these big tracks like this. You put a guy like that so good in this series. Again, that was an Oz car. He won 9 races. Now he's in a JGR car. Oh, my God. It gets me so excited, Rod.
Indeed. Well, you know what gets me excited? Super fast cars on the Shanghai International Circuit, where the Formula One series goes after their trip to Australia down under. We are set for 5.451 kilometers of this Chinese Grand Prix, which is just over 3 miles for those of you who celebrate, for 305.066 kilometers of this race, 56 laps around the wizard hat that is the Shanghai International Circuit. I do love comparing. This is the sorting cap from Harry Potter. It'll tell you if you're a Gryffindor or a Slytherin or a McLaren or a,
this one tells you if you're a McLaren or a Ferrari or a Mercedes or maybe a Racing Bulls. That's what it does.
Could you imagine getting the F1 Academy and they put that on you and they go Williams and you're like, oh man,
you're like, no, that's not. I was really hoping to pull the Red Bull.
Cadillac. No.
Oh no.
Anyway, it is the second race of the Formula One season. Glad that they're doing back-to-backs this year, and glad to be on the Chinese circuit again. This is going to be a lot of fun. A couple of active aero now. The active aero is. I used to tell you what DRS zones were in this, but there are no DRS zones anymore. But a lot of fun around this one. The first race was amazing. If you haven't, go back to listen to the recap show. We kind of break down a little bit of it, but all 18 corners of this are going to be action-packed and fun, Cody. So as we do now at the end of these O'Reilly series, let's start laying down some bets for this Chinese Grand Prix.
Yeah, again, it's a Thursday night practice 1 in America here, 10:30 in the Central Time Zone. So make sure you get these bets in before that if you want these bets, because everything changes on the F1 board drastically. Stay tuned in the Discord. Our expert over there, Preston, giving out just massively good advice. The Discord was a happy place last week during the F1 race.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will be racing Sunday in the United States, but it is at 2 a.m. In the Central Time Zone. So don't forget to put those bets in Saturday night before you go to bed, or take your nap if you're going to stay up and watch this one live. But it's going to be an exciting race. Looking forward to it.
Also, before you lay down, sprint weekend too. So there is a sprint race as well.
Yes. Good point. So it is just the one practice session, and then they'll have the sprint. So essentially, just a quick, without diving into it too much, is basically they have a sprint race, a short race before the main event. It pays extra points, and that has its own qualifying session. You can place bets on that, and then you can also place bets on the main event. So if you have sprint bets, make sure you pay attention, I guess, to what you're betting on is what I should say. So actually, I vote, Rod, we start with your bet first, since you have a sprint bet for everyone. And we run that, since that'll be the sprint bet, and then we'll get into the Grand Prix bets.
Indeed, yeah. So I am going to take this Mercedes kid that I've been on, and we talked about him too in a little bit. But last year I was hammering him, I think, for a top 6 finish, and he was, cashing them every single week. Kind of graduated to podiums, and it wasn't necessarily always hitting there. But listen, Kimi Antonelli, you can't deny the kid anymore now. He got a podium finish in the Australian Grand Prix, standing right next to his buddy George Russell. And he's for real. And this Mercedes team is for real. Kimi Antonelli to win the sprint race, right? The very first sprint race of the weekend is at 6-1. He has one sprint race win, right? And if you know the last couple of seasons between Lando, between Max, it was difficult to break through and win a sprint race. But Kimi, at the ripe age of 18, won himself a sprint race in the big boys club. So he's not a stranger to it. And like I said, we've watched this kid just get steady, better and better and better. And his finish last week really has me believing that there's a lot more that we've got in store for him. Clean racer, fast racer, knows how to handle the car he's given, which, listen, I know it's a Mercedes, and even here, that's a big deal. But, for him to be able to do that and to do it well, right? I'm all in on Kimi. I think he's going to start the weekend off good with a win. 6-1 for the sprint win for Kimi Antonelli, and I'm not looking back.
No arguments from me. I love it. So again, that's the sprint race, the earlier race on, I think that's super early on Saturday morning here in the U.S. No, that's actually Friday night, 10 o'clock. So, yeah, make sure you, again, get those bets in early before sprint qualifying, even before FP1, because things will change with that. Moving over to the Grand Prix, I'm going to start with a Oliver Bearman to finish inside of the points, which is a top 10. Some books listed as top 10, some books listed as points. I'm going to take his top 10 over on Bet365 at plus 125. Really like this bet. So if you go back to last year and you look at what Haas did here, Esteban Ocon was 5th place and Oliver Bearman finished in 8th. So they both finished inside of the points and it was good. Now, cycle forward to this year, much like NASCAR, if you've just kind of checking in, everything is new. The car is new, the chassis is new, the DRS is gone. They got this battery rechargeable thing. It's not real racing. You'll hear from the hardcores. That's how you know they're doing it right. But it's all changed. So you sort of throw everything out from last year. But I think having a good performance here sparks good, momentum going forward. Now you look back at last week, the one race we have to look at this new car, there was a lot of speed in that Haas camp, including from Bearman. So it's as simple as that for me. I'm going to take him to finish in the points, plus 125. Good run last year, plus speed early this year. They're sort of the Ferrari junior team almost. I mean, they've got the sort of partnership there. Ferrari had a lot of speed last week. They look good. Clearly, they've got something figured out, I think, in that camp. So I'm going to ride with it. Give me Oliver Bearman, 25.
I think I said it during the recap show, but I'm highly impressed with what these younger rookies and these younger drivers are bringing to the board, because if you looked at the top 10, if you looked at all the points finishers from last week, it was just a bunch of names that you're like, what the hell? Like, what's a racing bull that's not Liam Lawson doing in the top 10, right? What's a Limbald? What's that? Like, I don't remember seeing that in the top 10, but yeah, absolutely love it. Love Ollie Bearman for a points finish. So give me
and
all
he finished
of that.
7th last week, by the way. So just to kind of cap on the speed, and Ocon was 11th. So they both had speed. They both looked good. And obviously you had to survive some of the chaos we had last week, but they did that. So all points in their favor.
Yeah. And even if a couple of those drivers that should have finished in the points, Bearman would have still cleared at least a 10th place finish. So I'm convinced that he's got the stuff to do it again this week. Talked about real racing, Cody. Not a lot of people, I guess, understand the concept. I don't know. You tell me. But racing and finishing 30 seconds ahead of the second place is not necessarily real racing. Yeah, it's driving and it's a Sunday drive, but I like it when you watch George Russell and Charles Leclerc switch off on the lead 15 times in a lap, neither one of them being able to pull away by millions of seconds ahead. So that's the kind of racing I like, because that means that there's actually somebody else that can win that race other than the person that started on the pole. Therefore, I will take the winning margin in this race between 5 and 10 seconds, plus 225. Listen, kind of don't really take any of the old stats to bear here, because this is a completely different situation. And what I saw last week was these cars get super racy, right? No one is able to pull off. George Russell only won by about 3 seconds, right? It was just under 3 seconds that he won that race. Now, we watched Lando, we watched Max, we watched these guys win by a year, right, over the last couple of seasons. And I feel like those days might be gone. Like, these guys now with the active arrow instead of the DRS, because DRS used to just be able to hit the DRS, open the rear wing, take off and go, right? This active arrow, you get past them. Well, guess what? They've still got it. They've got it right back at you. So they can come around and try to get the position back as soon as they take it away. So there's not a lot of, I'm going to get past you and then sail off into the sunset. This, I'm going to get past you, but I got to watch my rear view because these guys are right behind me. So with that being said, I feel like this race is going to be a little bit closer. 5 to 10 gives you a nice little cushion, right? Because 5 seconds, a couple seconds here and there, that gives you a nice little cushion. 2 out of the last 3 years, this has actually been the margin. Now, keep in mind, this is only the 3rd year in a row that they've been here. They took a few years off between 2019 and 2024. So there's still a lot of new faces in these cars from the last time that they were out in 2019. But in 2019, 6.5 seconds was the finish, the margin of victory. In 2024, the first year they came back, it was 13 seconds, but that was Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen was doing Max Verstappen things. But last year in the 2025 Chinese Grand Prix, Oscar Piastri won this race, and the margin of victory was 9.748. So, like I said, I'm taking into account this new setup and the fact that it doesn't feel like people are driving away to give me the margin of victory between 5 and 10. And then I'm going to take Red Bull to have a double top 6 finish. I'm not going to do a lot of handicapping on this one. Obviously, we didn't see Isaac Hadjar fulfill everything that he needed to last week, but he did have a good, solid start. And unfortunately, he just was not able to finish because of mechanical issues, which were outside of his purview. But yeah, I feel like a top 6 finish for him this week is in the cards. And then, of course, it's Max Verstappen the other side of that. Don't need to argue that. He's going to be a probably top 4 finisher, and he's going to be in the top 6. So give me Red Bull double top 6. That is at plus 140 on the score.
Yeah, I love both of these bets. Hadjar looked so good last week. And then, again, I just kind of shut off on him, and that was the end of the day, which is unfortunate. But Max, you don't have to worry about in a general sense. And on your finishing thing, I love it because I think, taking into account track history here, what it's kind of been, plus this new car and the not being able to pull away like you mentioned. And I saw some comparisons where it's, once you get ahead, you can't just drive away. Good. I like it that way. So.
Well, there's a lot of technical corners in this too, so there's not a lot of getaway.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. Something else I love: virtual safety cars over plus 175 on Bet365. To summarize this, basically, instead of a full course caution with the pace car coming out like we get in NASCAR, if they can do a virtual safety car, which is a light on the dash and they have to slow down to a certain speed, whatever, hold their positions. That's a quick summary for you. Over 1.5. So getting 2 of those throughout the race. We saw last week a lot of craziness because of this new car. There's so many unknowns, figuring out the battery thing. Piastri, they're blaming that incident now on the battery. We saw some other guys have issues throughout the race, the Hadjar thing, the Cadillacs. You got the Aston Martins that don't even think they can run full races that are, who knows when they're going to have to stop on the middle of the track. Like, do you get to 2 safety cars and for it to be almost 2-1? This is really just a simple bet on, I didn't dig back through what's the Chinese Grand Prix done for us before. Nothing. It's simply chaos in week 1. We're turning right around and jumping into another Grand Prix the next week on a different continent. Like, we haven't had time to go sit in the shop and diagnose it over some tea and whatever. Like, we're right back at it. So I think we're going to see some similar issues this week. So yeah, give me the over 1.5 virtual safety cars at plus 175.
And then this is why, if you do get the safety cars, this is why I like taking these caution bets, right? Or these virtual safety car bets. Because then you don't get pissed off when you see them. You're like, oh, cool. Okay, that's 1. And then you see the other one, you're like, yeah, that's 2.
Stop. Don't get to the cutoff off the track. Just stop right there. Yes, stop. Oh, virtual safety car. Put it out, guys.
That's what I'm talking about. You're like, oh, red. No, I want the yellow. Bring me the yellow.
Yeah.
JDK got the over 1.5 virtual safety cars plus 250 to start the week.
So, I loved this. As I was putting my card together, and I hadn't really been in the F1 chat yet on Discord, so I put my card together. I'm like, I'll go over, see what Preston has to say, see if I can steal any of his hits. And boom, they were having a conversation about this, and I'm like, yes, let's fucking go. I was right on this shit. Preston agrees with me. JDK agrees with me. Let's go.
Let's go. I was looking at the Shanghai weather, too, just to make sure that we didn't get any rain, and that would definitely cause that one to go over. So, all right. Well, then, listen, we get to the outrights. This is tough because it used to just be, we used to say Max Verstappen is going to win this race, but if he doesn't, right now, George Russell took the first race of the season, so I don't know that he can go back-to-back. It's tough, right? 2 races into this, or now we're a race and a half into this, and I don't know where I'm at, but I will say that I do not think that Lando Norris should be 33-1 to win this race. Cody, if Max Verstappen won the championship, the following year, he would not be 33-1 to win any race, let alone the second race of the season, right? And I'm not going to handicap past that. We know that Lando Norris has been fast. We know that Lando Norris has been the runner-up the last couple of years on this track to Max Verstappen and then previously to Oscar Piastri. So, listen, man, Lando Norris at 33-1. No, thank you.
No, absolutely. I completely agree with you. Going into the week, it's a long shot. If they come out, they just don't have any speed. They don't do anything, fine. But it's not like that was the case last week. I mean, it was the Mercedes, then the Ferraris, and then Lando was right there behind him, right? And Oscar didn't start the race, but Oscar was going to start up in the top 6 as well. before the incident, obviously going into it. So sure, some things could go wrong. Maybe he's not the best car. We've seen it's the Mercedes and the Ferraris clearly had the most speed week 1. But McLaren is no fools. They while there's not a bunch of time, they might make some simple tweaks. If he can go out and lay down heaters and qualifying, you get that track position. Strategy lays out the safety cars or virtual safety cars land at the right time. Plenty of factors can go into it. 33-1. I agree with you. It's too big of a number. And yes, Russell has deserved to be the heavy favorite in this one. I get it. They had the most speed, right? But he's also not Max Verstappen. I don't think, if that was Max Verstappen in that car, no chance of catching him, right? Because it's just, he's good, but they're going to make their mistakes. They're going to slip up. Other people are going to have shots. And it was one race. That's all we have, right? Yes, that one race, but what did we learn during that race? Is Lando able to turn that around and put it right into something else? We'll see. At that number, I like it. Speaking of speed, Charles Leclerc had it. The Ferraris had it 6-1. If they can not shoot themselves in the foot on strategy, which that's asking a lot from Ferrari, Charles Leclerc is fast, looked really, really good last week. Ferraris, I think, are the ones, last week, Mercedes were clearly the fastest. Ferrari was hanging right there with them. They were the classes of the field. 6-1, I think you're getting, I hate to say it, the better driver in the Ferrari camp these days. I love Lewis, and he had a good week last week. It was good to see, but Shaw's the guy, and I think he can get it done. So Charles Leclerc at 6-1. And it didn't work out for us last week. He had to start in the back because of a practice crash that wasn't really even his fault. That was, again, something to do with the whole battery issue. But he drove all the way through the field, finishes in 6th place. If you can get him track position, he can get it done. 8-1 on Max Verstappen. If you're going to keep hanging numbers like this, I'm going to keep betting it because there's too much value for as good and amazing of a driver. I don't care if you put him out there in a soapbox car. Eventually, he's going to figure it out and beat these because he's that damn good. So give me Charles Leclerc at 6-1, Max Verstappen at 8-1, and I also love your Lando play at 33-1.
Recency bias plays such a gigantic part in all of this, but yeah, absolutely forget that. Max Verstappen's good. All right, get out your pen and paper. Time to go over our bets for this Chinese Grand Prix. I started you out with Kimi Antonelli winning the sprint race to kick off the weekend at 6-1. I said that the winning margin of this race would be between 5 and 10 seconds at plus 225. Gave you the Red Bull double top 6 at plus 140 and Lando Norris to walk away with the win for the second year in a row at the Shanghai Grand Prix. 33-1. You can find that over at FanDuel. Cody gave you Ollie Behrman as a points finisher plus 125. Told you that there will be at least 2 virtual safety cars, so over 1.5 VSCs at plus 175. Charles Leclerc 6-1, Max Verstappen 8-1 for his outright plays of the race. Another fun weekend of racing, Cody. We got everything involved once more.
Yes, we do, and we're not even done with racing picks because tomorrow we'll be back. We're going to talk DFS for the Cup Series at Las Vegas, of course, and IndyCar once again. They're going to be taking on the Arlington Grand Prix. First ever time there, so that's going to be an exciting one to break down. I believe some odds have finally started dropping, so should have some stuff to give you tomorrow, which looking forward to a lot. So I love all this racing to bet on, all this racing to talk about. Even if you're just a NASCAR fan, give this IndyCar and F1 stuff a chance. It's not the same as NASCAR. I'm never going to say that NASCAR's number one. It's the best. It's not going to be beaten, but these things are fun in their own right, their own discipline. We get a bet on them. You get to play fantasy games, whatever it is. It's a lot of fun. I love it.
Indeed. All right, Cody. Well, then let's let everybody get their betting cards set up as we let them go for the day and come back tomorrow, like Cody said, with more. So in the meantime, where can they find you out in this wild, wild world of ours?
Yep. Follow me over on the X at Husker_Zeeb. You can find all my stuff over there. Cover a lot of sports, basketball stuff, football stuff, arena football, NFL, all the above. Whatever they'll let me write about, I'll write about it. And yeah, follow the show at NASCAR Gambling. Like the Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube, click the bell. All the fun stuff. See you guys tomorrow.
Indeed. Yes. Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. Wave, say hi. I'll wave back. All right. We'll see you guys tomorrow with the DFS version and the IndyCar bets for this weekend. Until then, join us on our never-ending quest to make NASCAR gambling fun again. Let's go racing and let it ride.